The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
And there have been, by the way, 2 federal reports by independent agencies saying that what I said and what my wife said in the very beginning of this was true, that we were not involved in running the savings and loan, that we lost money on a real estate deal, and that this whole inquiry is going after 2 people who lost money on a real estate deal made almost 19 years ago now.
Whitewater, the Clintons' Whitewater scam with Jim McDougal and his wife Susan. He was the money guy. Clintons didn't have any money. It was a real estate scam where they bought development property, resort-type property, near bodies of water and so forth, Whitewater in Arkansas. They built homes, they bought lots, and what they did, they aimed this development at seasoned citizens. It was not an old folks home. It was single-family homes. Seasoned citizens, wealthy, moderately wealthy retirees could buy and live in single-family dwellings. The Clintons would cheat the seniors out of their down payments if the buyer missed one mortgage payment. The Clintons repossessed the property and resold it. And they did this over and over and over. It was a scam designed to sell property to people who couldn't afford it. So you ended up losing all your equity. You became a renter if you missed just one payment. The fine print in the clause just read to you. And in some cases, they could foreclose. They could repossess if you missed a couple, and then they just sell it and flip it again. That's what Whitewater was. It was a screw job.
Well, you're all still here, I see. I was glad to have the opportunity to tell the grand jury what I have been telling all of you. I do not know how the billing records came to be found where they were found, but I am pleased that they were found because they confirm what I have been saying. Well, I looked forward to being able to tell the grand jury what I know, to be able to answer their questions. I, like everyone else, would like to know the answer about how those documents showed up after all these years.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you. Good evening. This afternoon in this room, from this chair, I testified before the Office of Independent Counsel and the grand jury. I answered their questions truthfully, including questions about my private life, questions no American citizen would ever want to answer. Still, I must take complete responsibility for all my actions, both public and private. And that is why I am speaking to you tonight. As you know, in a deposition in January, I was asked questions about my relationship with Monica Lewinsky. While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Ms. Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part for which I am solely and completely responsible.
I remember landing under sniper fire. There was supposed to be some kind of a greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down to get into the vehicles.
And that means that no matter how we reform health care, we will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your doctor, you will be able to keep your doctor, period. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. Period.
Shovel-ready was not as shovel-ready as we expected.
All of them have projects that are shovel-ready.
We've got shovel-ready projects all across the country.
The fact is, we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make? It is our job to figure out what happened and do everything we can to prevent it from ever happening again, Senator. Now, honestly, I will do my best to answer your questions about this. But
Everything I did was permitted by law and regulation. I had one device.
Secretary Clinton used several different servers, and she also used numerous mobile devices to send and to read email on that personal domain.
You talk about leveling with the American people. Have you always told the truth?
I've always tried to, always.